What up, Hiker Nation? Gary Hootenholla here, and welcome to episode 1 of Trails with Tales. And we got our co-host with the mostest, McKenna.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
How you,
Good. How are you?
how you doing?
Good.
Good. Chilling?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
Hi.
buddy. Oh, God. Here we go. So this is our first show. So this is a very special show that we're going to start doing, here in New York. One thing that, as we're hikers, we're outdoors people. There's so much to experience in the state of New York, but not just New York. I mean, let's be real. The United States in general. I mean, think of the mountains, think of the waterways, think of the ocean. There's different types of people that love different types of things. Like, McKenna, what's one of your favorite things to do when we go outside?
Hike, fish, kayak, canoe, I guess.
Damn, you gotta this is like a checklist?
Kind of.
So do you want to tell them what did we do today?
We went fishing.
Oh yeah, and how'd that turn out?
Awful. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Mm-hmm. Because I caught 6 trees.
Trees are the best thing. I mean, that's the biggest thing to catch, right? Trees?
Kind of.
Kind of, sort of, kind of?
Kinda.
Kind of. And I caught 5 fish, and it made it worthwhile at least, right?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cool thing about this show with me and McKenna, and especially you have a father-daughter, duo here that we go into the woods and we do these kind of things, and it's super important because there's a lot of people out there that hike with their children, that do things with their children, that get their significant others involved in the outdoors and things like that, but we never get to really hear from them. You know what I mean? Like other than when they're crying that they're going up at the hill, as McKenna hates to do, right? What's your least favorite thing about the outdoors?
The heat. Totally. The heat.
The heat.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it gets so hot outside.
Oh yeah? Well, isn't that why they call
Mm.
it heat and being outside?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, last
Yeah.
time I knew when we were going up that one mountain, you weren't overly thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the heat or was that going up the mountain?
Heat.
Oh, it wasn't going up the mountain when you were,
No, it was heat.
I had to bribe you with ice cream and every other thing.
It was heat. It was too hot. So thousands.
There's something. Oh, we
Uh,
froze. You there?
Yep,
All right, we got
it's
you
the
back.
internet.
I know everybody. We're lagging the internet today. I don't know what's going on with the interwebs, but we're trying our best. So we're trying not to lag here. All right. So tonight's show is pretty simple. We're going to start the show off right by what to pack on a day hike. One of the things that is important is having the proper things when we're out. The heat and a bug story, 100%. And bugs are another. I hate bugs. I'm not gonna lie. I can't stand it, especially the mosquitoes. Not about it. That's why I prefer winter hiking myself. So you don't have to deal with those kind of things. There's some snow, and I think me kind of froze again. Up there,
You
she is.
froze again
So
too. You were very laggy.
yeah, we're lagging here. Someone must be using the McKenna Kinley is using the internet. Kinley.
Yep.
It's my other daughter, Kinley. She's evil. Anyway, so what we're doing tonight is we're going to be talking about what to bring on a day trip. All right, just a quick day hike in the woods, but also from a child's perspective. One thing we, as parents, we never really do is ask our children, what do they need to be successful out on the trail? What do they need to bring? And, I can sit here and talk all day about, bring A, B, C, D, you need water, you need this. But at the end of the day, that may not make McKenna happy when we're into the woods, right? So she doesn't care about half of that stuff as she's doing what she's doing. So we're just going to go over simple tips and tricks from hikers, because that's what we do, and to what you can carry in the woods. Now, as you know, I'm an overpacker and over preparer. because I hike with multiple people with me at all points in time. So because we're always out in the woods with people, I have to always bring for two, not just one. All right. So that's one thing. So a lot of things I'm going to show you is what my pack, it's in my pack, but it doesn't mean you have to bring it, obviously, but it's always good to have because as you hear me say when we're bigfooting and things like that, you always have to err on the side of caution and the side of safety. Once you're away from that car, half the trip is getting to where you have to go. The other half of the trip is coming back to the car. And as we know, the 90% of the stuff that happens to you that's bad in the woods is after you summit a mountain or coming back on the long haul from your trip. That's when everything goes south. So that's, you have to be prepared and just in case something happens. All right, let's start with rucksacks and backpacks. They're your most important essential thing. One thing I say is there's two things you do not ever cheap out on, because this stuff gets expensive. But think about it. You're making an investment, okay? So the amount of money you spend on your gear, it's well worth it when you're into the woods and don't have to worry about things falling apart on you, because once again, that will happen too. There are tricks and tips, though, for cheap ways to get around a lot of things, and we'll talk about that. So first off, let's show rucks and packs. McKenna, up. Now, there's different types of day packs, okay? This one is a North Face day pack, as we see, all right? McKenna has an Ozark Trail one from Walmart. Perfectly fine for kids, perfectly fine. I highly recommend them, actually. For what they're going to need to carry, for the things you're going to be doing in the woods, it works fine. I mean, do you like your backpack?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about your backpack?
I don't know. It's a backpack.
Chillin'.
Yes.
Yes. But there's different types of backpacks. Now, it depends on what you're into. I'm a brand snob when it comes to this stuff. So North Face and Osprey are two companies I highly recommend. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to pack my backpack as I'm going over things. So we're going to be doing that. You're fine, Alfred. You're totally fine. Nice. Thank you for coming. So now my pack's a little bit different. Okay. So as we look, here's my pack. Okay. Now you see I have things attached to it. Okay. One thing that we're into is called carabiners. Always have, I gotta go off here. Carabiners. Carabiners are great for hanging stuff on and bringing stuff with you. Okay. I hang these little Velcro straps on. These quick ties. These are rubber quick ties. These are amazing to use in the woods. If anybody wants me to post where you can find all this stuff, I will later. These are, once again, like zip ties. They're usable, come off. If anything, you need to bind anything to your packs, anything happens in the woods, same thing if you're a Bigfooter, these things are amazing. Okay, I use them for my snowshoes. I use them for multiple things in the woods. Okay, they come in different sizes too. So carabiners are different. This is just an everyday regular carabiner. You wouldn't be using anything for safety reasons with this. This is more carrying water bottles, things like that. We have lock and loaded carabiners that you use for rock climbing. These are important. What's up, Loretta? And I'm just taking stuff off so you're kind of diving. So these carabiner are the ones I recommend. These are lock and loaded ones. So what happens is they have a twist on it. So once you twist it, they lock and now they don't go in. Something like this can save your butt in the woods. Okay, because you can actually fix ropes to these. They hold a lot of weight. Okay, so things like that. I always recommend to have one of these. These are a little bit more expensive. All right, like I say, you're paying for a quality. You're paying for something that may save your life. Because on these things, you can load a lot of weight on these. Unlike these carabiners, all you're doing is carrying little stuff. But these have their usage. So definitely get a couple of these, and they're dirt cheap, and you can load up water bottles, straps, like I said before, different straps, all sorts of things. All right. You want to add to that, McWiley?
No, because what I use my carabiner for is keychains. So Keychains and keys. So
Well, that's important to have.
the keychains are not important.
They're not important.
Not
I
important.
mean, how are you going to get back into the house into the car?
I mean, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
keys are important, but the keychains aren't.
Why? What holds the keys?
The carabiner holds the keys, but the keychains on it are not important at all.
But they could be in a survival situation.
The ones I have aren't. Mine are literally just anime characters.
Oh, anime characters.
How is that important?
Anything's important. Now, another thing, moving along from anime, one thing that I carry, for this is my personal thing, is I carry a water bottle holder that connects to my rucksack and my pack. It has a carabiner on it. Now, Outdoor Research makes these. They're like $40. This was the best $40 I spent. I'm not even kidding. Why? Because it keeps things cold, right? Or if you're using soup, keeps things hot while you're on the trail. I connect it to my bag, so then when I can just reach behind me and grab it instead of taking your pack off and then taking the butt. Exactly, which is a pain in the butt, right?
Yes.
Like taking your pack on and off just to get water.
Yes.
You know, we can use camel packs. Some people, I don't like camel packs because they taste like crap. So that's one thing I can't stand. But with these, you don't have to worry about it. And the bottles fit right inside. So you can have a good Nalgene bottle, okay? Adirondack Club. These are all the peaks, 46er style, and they fit right inside. All right, so it slides right inside, nice and snug. Trying to go opposite here. Nice and snug, that fits right in. And now you have your water bottle holder, which then clips right to your rucksack. And now it's clipped. Okay? So highly recommend it. I'll post a thing. Outdoor Research makes it. Now, Outdoor Research is a very expensive company, a very expensive brand, but I highly recommend them. Okay, like a lot of their stuff from gators to things like that we're not going to talk about today. But we'll talk about that in future casts. All right, anything to add to that, McKenna?
No.
Water bottles. Let's talk about water bottles, right?
Yeah.
Let's see your water bottle. Oh, you're frozen. Hold on. Please bear with us. We got slow lag today. Oh.
Yep.
Hold on. You froze.
It's very glitchy.
I know you're freezing on me. Hold on. We're gonna bring you back here. Hold on. Come back. Oh no, the internet hates us today.
The internet does not like us.
No, you're glitching like crazy.
You were glitching like crazy earlier. I just didn't want to say anything.
Oh man. Well, hopefully you'll come back. So look, water bottle quick. She'll come back in a couple minutes as she just sits there. So there's different Nalgenes different models we can do. Oh, you're back. There you are. All right.
My amazing water bottle.
There you go. Now McKenna has basically like a Yeti type bottle. It's a metal bottle that's insulated. Okay. Those things are great. Now, one thing that I've noticed lately is not just for water. One thing when you're hiking, it brings soup with you. Like chicken broth is great for like cold day hikes. It's full of sugar and sodium. So after hiking, we use all sodium. And then we start getting swollen hands and you start swelling up and then you start getting dehydrated. One easy way to replenish all that on a long day on the trail is broth. Or beef broth if you prefer that. Any kind of soup, even just regular canned soup if you don't mind the noodles and stuff like that, because you're eating as you go. So with that, we're able to then bring that out in the trail with an insulated bottle. Then they say there's different kinds. Here's another one right here. They have the twist tops on them. So they're nice, ready to go. Keeps things cold or warm for very long periods of time. Also, I apologize if we're lagging. I really do. We're trying here. But then you have the regular Nalgene bottles. Regular Nalgene bottles. There you go. It's a plastic bottle. Once again, fits about 32 to 36 ounces of water, something like that. Lightweight, easy to go, easy to use. So you have a bottle like that. Then you have your camel packs, which I don't have one with me, but if anybody knows what the camel packs are, they're the water pouches. You also have the water pouches themselves, which I don't think I have any around here. But once again, you can fill pouches of water. Great for space saving and things like that. And once again, it's just an easy way to hydrate yourself. But I do recommend getting that outdoor research bottle warmer, bottle holder, because it makes life a lot easier. McKenna, what do you put in your bottle? Because I know you don't always drink water.
Okay, so either I put some iced tea in it, or whatever else there's in the fridge. Sometimes I put water in it.
Sometimes.
So, yeah.
What about Dragon refreshers?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, cheers.
I use the water bottle also for school. I put something cold in it, and it'll last like 2 days. So, yep.
There you go.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Now that we're moving away from different water bottles in your rucksacks, make sure the main thing about a rucksack is, and backpack, is make sure you have nice comfortable straps, because on your shoulders, obviously. Make sure you have a nice little ball. Yep. And Alfred, perfect. Salt tablets on hot, humid days for cramping. Amazing. And we're actually going to get into that in a minute. But make sure your backpack is your most important piece of equipment next to your footwear. All right. Boots are really important, or trail running shoes. All right. A lot of people now are starting to get into using trail running shoes as for hiking shoes. It's a great idea because, once again, they're ultra cushioned, especially a lot of these shoes now, and they're very comfortable. I still prefer wearing boots when I go hiking because I like that ankle support. So if you want good ankle support, get yourself a really good pair of boots. Now, because we're going to be talking about spring, summer, coming into spring and fall, or oh my God, spring and summer. McKenna, what? But I don't know. It's going crazy. But get yourself a good pair of lightweight boots. All right. There's a lot of really lightweight boots that are have nice ventilation, air out, and things like that, so your feet don't sweat too much. All right. And they're lightweight. Question for her. Will wants to know, this is a question for you, McKenna. You're a rock star.
Okay.
He asked, do you carry trail mix, a sandwich? And if so, how much do you carry when we're out in the woods?
Okay.
Talk about food.
So I carry granola bars. I don't carry like trail mix or anything. Either like granola bars or just like some snack things, and I can just eat it and then I can just go. So something really quick. So.
Yeah. And that's perfect. And Will, to bring you right into this, one thing to pack in your pack. All right, so we talked about footwear. Footwear, do not cheap out on. Spend the money for good boots. They will last a long time, but that's something you cannot cheap out on. Blisters, hot spots happen. We don't want to deal with that on the trail. Okay. If we do, there are ways to talk about, we'll have another show just based on that. But Will, we carry a pack of food. Now, this is my emergency pack of granola of different mixes. Now we're getting the salt tabs. Okay. So when you have kids involved, you have to carry the nice granola bars. So we carry all different kinds because everybody likes variety. So, you know, we carry the Nature's Best, and this is the salted almond ones and caramel. So there's salt, caramel, all the good fixings in there. You got to carry the yummy ones for the kids. The Reese's Puff bars, right? Reese's Puffs. Yeah, buddy. Okay. Now, to get into, oh, well, we got more in here. In the Cinnamon Toast Crunch bars, the kids love too. Everybody likes Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. These things are pretty epic when you get grumpy. Not going to lie, they're pretty good. Now, to talk about hydration and what you need. Now, when we're out on the trail, okay, there's things that we will need that we may need to add to our water. Something like this. This is one of my favorite things. I don't know if you probably can't see it. This is called Liquid IV, okay? It's a pouch. Liquid IV is amazing stuff. We use it for ultra running. We use it for all sorts of things for super hydration really quick. This has all your electrolytes in it. It has all your anything you need, potassium, salt, everything. It replenishes your body really quick. I keep this with me in my emergency pack at all times. You never know, once we're talking about salt tablets for hot days for cramping, you slam one of these in your water bottle, it replenishes you and you feel amazing. Okay, and it'll take away that cramping, especially when you start getting that abdominal cramping. Another thing I always bring with me is Insta Energy electrolyte stuff. You can get this. Now, this is cheap stuff. You can get it from great value, okay? But this has from Walmart. This has caffeine in it. It has electrolytes in it. Once we know is as we're on the trail and we start getting tired, caffeine becomes your friend. You smack some caffeine, you start getting a really bad headache, right? You get dehydration headaches. Smack some caffeine and electrolytes, it goes right away. So, McKenna, you know all about the headaches from being dehydrated, right? When you're out on the trail. She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, Dad, I'm dying. I have a headache. I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, guess what? We're doing another trail. We're not even done yet. We haven't even finished this one yet. We still have, what, 3 more to go?
Yep.
With that one. All right, McKenna, we have a question.
Okay.
Socks. We're going into socks now. Socks, small, long cotton or wool? What do you like better?
I don't really care. I'm not that picky with them. So.
And that's one thing with kids, okay? People like myself, I'm all into wool socks. Great for wetting, great for those kind of things. And they're more cushioning. Kids, though, they prefer, you prefer whatever you wear. It doesn't even matter what you wear.
I don't really care.
She doesn't care. And on top of that, what I know, we do bring extra socks. So the way I always look at it is, cotton kills and all this kind of stuff. But let's backtrack a little bit. Throughout time as hikers, a lot of us wore a lot of cotton back in the day. Not saying it was a perfect thing, but none of us died. And smart, Keith, perfect. Smart wool socks all summer long. That's what I wear. I actually wear winter hiking socks all year round. Even in the summer, I still wear winter hiking socks. But that's what works for me because they wick. Even though they keep you warm, they wick, and it's perfect. But McKenna, kids, it doesn't phase them. So we have wool socks for her. She wears them. We have cotton socks. Whatever she wants to wear is what she wears. The main thing, though, is what, McKenna? We give you long socks, right?
Yeah.
I think for kids, that's the most important, is that make sure they wear long socks so when they blister, you don't want them to start blistering. So make sure they have socks that cover your ankles. Would you agree there?
Yeah.
Because you've had hot spots, right?
Yes.
And it's not fun.
Not fun.
Not fun. So wool socks, I would say, always. That's me. But kids just don't care. They really don't. If you are going to carry cotton socks for kids, less blisters with wool socks. Totally agree. 100% totally agree. But I can tell you this. Here's the weird thing, Keith. I do trail running, right? And I only wear cotton socks when I trail run. I can't wear the Nalgene toe socks. I can't wear the runner's wool socks, the non-blister ones. My feet actually blister in those when I'm trail running. When I wear cotton socks, my feet are completely fine, and I don't blister or even get any hot spots. So I can't explain it. I don't know. I know a lot of people like that. So I guess it's just personal preference what it comes down to. But I'm always going to say wool socks, right, McKenna? Wool socks.
Sorry, my LED lights are falling as we speak.
It's okay. No worries. All right, so now we're continuing here. So we have socks. So now I don't have to talk about socks and talk about wool socks. Here's wool socks. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about. Wool socks. Perfect. Okay, yay. So this is great. We're flying right along. Now, Will has another question for you. Hats. We're getting there, Will. Hats, large, small baseball caps are the large hats. What do you prefer?
I actually never wore a hat, so I don't know.
You have your scout hat you wear.
Sometimes, yeah.
Just a small baseball hat. But lagging. I'm sorry. The stupid internet hates us tonight.
Yeah, the internet's not like us.
Internet sucks. All right, we got you back. All right, we got you back, man. So, Will, what time you choose a baseball hat? Am I back on? Is everybody I'm back on? We lost McKenna. All right, so I'm back on. We got McKenna back. Hold on.
Wow.
Ta-da!
Yeah,
Wow.
I was literally
What's
gonna
going
text
on?
her, turn her stuff off.
I don't know. Did you tell Kinley to shut her stuff off?
No, my phone's still trying to get on. Here, I'll text
All
her
right.
now.
Okay. So sorry, everybody. We're trying to work with this bad internet connection. We're doing our best. This is the world of technology. Awful.
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 Awful. All right. So
Awful.
as we're continuing on, let's just keep moving along here. So one thing that I prefer too, a lot of people talk about maps and compasses. You got to have those skills. I mean, we got to have map and compass skills. At least, and these maps are easy to read now, especially when we're going in from trailheads. One app I love that, especially for day hikes, for a lot of people that are bringing their kids out into the woods, is this the simple All Trails app that you get on your phone. Okay, so the All Trails app, as you see. Okay, you can download it on your phone. It has all the good stuff on it. Now, there's a lot of different apps you can get for your phone for hiking. I have a bunch of different ones. But, you know, there's Hiker Intel if you're into the Adirondack stuff. Hiker Intel is a brand new one. That will, you know, tell you all about the high peaks and things like that. You know, All Trails has a lot of the high peaks hikes on them. One thing about these apps, though, Gaia, that's another one. It's a great app. But the one thing about these apps is this. Buy the app so you can download the map on your phone. So, because you're not going to have internet connection in a lot of these places. Okay, so just pay the money and download the map. Number two, it won't give you accurate mileage. Okay, so if it says 5, 6, 7 miles, add another mile or two onto that at all points in time, and you won't be so disappointed when you hit the 6 mile mark and you're still not at the car. So once again, always add the mileage on that, but it will tell you if you're staying on the trail because the GPS will keep you on there. Okay, so in the world of technology, we do have the apps in all these different devices with your phone. If you bring your phone now, in which we should bring your phone while you're on the trail, one thing that I always do is I have a personal, you know, those power banks that you buy. They bring an external power bank, plug your phone into it, upload your map that's on your app that you're using at the car, and then put your phone in airplane mode. Once you put that phone in airplane mode, you just saved all your battery. And then you won't even use the power bank barely. And you can just hike the trail, still use your camera on your phone. You have your GPS coordinates that you're on the trail and where you are because you're looking at your map. Okay. And we go from there with it. Now, National Geographic, and there's some New York State maps that are awesome for hiking purposes. Always have a paper map on you. McKenna, I always have a paper map on me, correct? In the woods. Always have that because that would, yep. And a solar charger is another good one, Alfred. That's what I use as a solar charger. So that's even better. So once again, always have that paper map. And then if you're kind of high society, yep, Halo charger. That's another awesome one. And then if you want to spend the money, which I highly recommend doing anyway, get yourself a good Garmin GPS. Okay. Garmin GPSs, in my opinion, are the best. I have a Garmin running watch that I use. When it comes to a lot of the GPS stuff, I use Garmin GPSs, okay? Spend the money, learn how to use them. These things, I use them for bigfooting. I use them in the woods. It'll get you back and forth where you need to go, especially when bushwhacking. If you're going bushwhacking now, and you're on state property, if you don't know how to read a map and compass properly, do not go in with your phone either. Buy yourself a good GPS unit. Then you can start to slowly work your way with these things. These are pretty accurate, but you got to remember they're not exact. So it will keep where you're kind of going. So it's harder to get lost. But once again, don't just rely on one of these. because the batteries die really quick. Get lithium-ion batteries with these two. Bring spare batteries at all points in time with you when hiking, okay? And that's part of our list because you need them, spare batteries for everything. Headlamps, GPSs, multiple things that we bring that need batteries and take batteries, okay? But map and compass skills, a must. Use the apps on your phone. All Trails, Gaia, Hiker Intel, great apps to use. Power bank for your phone to bring with you so your phone doesn't die. Put your phone in airplane mode once it's up and going. McKenna, what do you use your phone for?
Okay, so I use my phone to take photos, and then say like I have to text someone, I just text them if I have service. So yeah.
And what else do you use your phone for?
Okay, so I use it for when I get like really frustrated. I just start watching TikTok videos and I just scroll past stuff while I'm walking. So then it kind of helps me like calm down a little bit. So, yeah.
So it helps you put you in a better mind space, right?
Yeah.
When you're all right. All right, I'm back. I see that I'm
Hi.
back and McKenna's back. Hey, I'm sorry, everyone. We're trying
I'm
here.
back.
Hey. So once again, you use your phone because with to get you through. So you watch TikTok and those kind of things when you have service.
Mhm. Yep.
So do you listen to music?
I don't have Spotify on my phone. Well, on my old phone I don't have Spotify. But I might start listening to music. Might if I have headphones. So,
There you
yeah.
go.
Yep.
There you go. And I mean, I listen to music when I trail run and stuff, but when I hike, I don't listen to music. Even though sometimes I wish I did, but excuse me, I just enjoy just taking it all in, take it all in. So, like I said, we're trying our best. Just bear with us. I'm sorry the internet is dumb today. All right. So, attached to my GPS unit. So, here's my GPS unit. I have two things. A whistle. So, this is a safety whistle. So, once again, if anything happens and you're on the trail, the only good thing about pandemic life on the trail is there's a million people. A million. Too many people. So, there's usually somebody around within 24 hours in around your area that if you need to alert them, unless you're bushwhacking and you're off in the woods by yourself, but if you're on the regular nature trail, something happens, get a safety whistle, okay? Just get a safety whistle. It works wonders. Another thing I carry is one of these cheapy little LED flashlights, because once again, it connects to my pouch, okay? If you need to just look at something where you don't have to take out a big flashlight and you don't need your headlamp out yet, if you just need to put something, the car keys in the door, if you're just looking through your pack for something small, it's easier to use that and just push the button than go through everything else that you need to go through. And plus, it's another light to have. You can't have enough lights in your pack. You really can't, especially if it doesn't weigh anything. There's next to no weight.
Also, you can use your phone as a flashlight.
There you go. And that's another thing, as long as you have that power bank, right?
Mhm.
So, and that's the key, is that external power banks. Bring them, have one specifically for your pack, so you always have it. And always have it packed, because at least when you go to recharge it and you take it out of your bag, it's already there. The main thing I can teach everybody is this. Always have your ruck and pack always packed at all times. So whatever you put in and take out, put back in. It's that easy. And then what I do is I write a checklist. At the end of my hike, I get a piece of paper and I'll write, I used 3 AA batteries for a headlamp, or 3 AAA batteries, or AA batteries, or we ate so many bars. Okay. So then I know what I need for my next hike before I go out. Same thing with camping. Oh, I need manuals for the lanterns. I need more bug spray. I'm almost out of bug spray. things like that, because that way you're always then prepared because you know what you're taking in and out of your pack at all points in time. It's super important. It really is, and it makes life so much easier because all your stuff is there. So many times we lose stuff, you know. All right, so that's done with that. As Loretta was saying before, ready? This is one of the most important things in my opinion. 2 is 1. 2 is 1. Okay? 1 is none. So Will was asking earlier, what does my first aid kit look like? This is my first aid kit. It is full. It's huge. Look at it. It takes up my whole screen. But what do I have on my first aid kit attached? Another headlamp. What else do I have? Another carabiner. So 2 is 1. Here's my other headlamp that I use. Okay. Once again, I'm a Petzl person. I love Petzl headlamps. They're great. And you can spend $20 on a Petzl headlamp, and it's amazing. Great quality. Okay. Once again, this one's a little bit more expensive, but great quality. With that, I'm not going to unpack my first aid kit right now, but we'll go over that another time. This thing is jam-packed. Mine is huge. This first aid kit weighs probably about 6 pounds. So one of the heaviest things I carry in my rucksack is a first aid kit. Why is that? All the times out on the trail, I've learned over and over I need to bring different things. Okay? One thing especially, yeah, your ski patrol pack's perfect. I mean, that is perfect. So you get that. One of the things I've learned with hiking with women is you need to kind of cater to women and their needs. Okay? They have different needs than men. I'm not going any further than that. We could talk about that in first aid, as McKenna's laughing, but it's true. I've come across it. And what are you going to do? I mean, what are you going to do? It is what it is. So with that being said, so yeah, and a bandana is perfect. A lot of people like to hike with bandanas. They absorb the sweat on your head. You can use them for multiple purposes. Okay. McKenna, for Will, you ready?
Okay.
What do you think about trekking poles or sticks?
Okay, so I don't really use them that often because I really don't need them. But sometimes I use them. Very rare occasions. So, yeah.
And I've tried to get her to use a couple sticks here and there, and it just, no, they don't use them.
Nope.
Meanwhile, I'm like, you know, and they go with trekking poles. Use your discretion with trekking poles. Now, I only use trekking poles when I'm doing big mountains. Okay, so if I'm doing the high peaks, or if I'm doing some of the Catskill 35ers, and I have this bad boy on, okay, my big pack, and you can see I still have my ice axe and everything connected to it. But if I have my big North Face pack on, all right, I then use trekking poles because once again, it helps as you're going up the big mountains. But if we're day hiking on some of the smaller trails, I don't, if there's a stick in the woods, I'll find one to play around with and stuff like that. Kids don't seem to need that stuff. Yeah, and perfect example, I have, my buddy Mike, he uses a Lecky for descent. Everybody's different. And you know what I mean? As you get older, just like, Mike says, different needs as you get older. My trekking poles have saved me so many times. But kids, they don't need them. Why don't you like to use them, McKenna?
I just don't need to use them. Like, if I'm hiking, like, if I'm going up a hill, I might use them for, like, to, like, have balance. But really, I don't like them because it's, like, it's something else to hold on to. Because I have very bad anxiety. So my hands get really sweaty, and then I can't hold on to anything. And I'll probably drop it. So, yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
So there's that. So yeah, so some people like walking steps. Kids don't seem to. You got to remember when we're hiking with our children, everything that we do and we tell them about, they do the opposite. I mean, McKenna, you were in Scouts, right?
Yes.
And so you learned all this stuff in Scouts.
Mm-hmm.
And you still do the opposite.
Sometimes. Yeah.
So, all right. So we're going to go. We'll get to you in 1 second, Will. So that's my first aid kit. Now we got some extras that I like to bring because of you have children, this is another one, or you're out with anybody, I pay for this service. This is a Spot personal beacon locator. Okay. I highly do recommend these locators. Okay. These things, you pay for a service. I pay $30 a month for the service, but it's peace of mind. If God forbid anything happens with your kid or you're with anybody out in the woods, I just have to hit that button and search and rescue will come save us. The cool thing about this also is you can get the car package on it. So say my car breaks down and I don't have cell phone service or anything in the backcountry, they will come and fix my car or get me to where I need to be.
You should get that service.
I do have that service.
I thought you did. We had to save you, guys.
I know you had to save us because I didn't have this with me.
That's your fault.
That was my fault. Yes, you're right. I was not prepared to go into the wilderness. That was Bigfoot. Bigfoot was there. So what do you want me to do?
I was about to go to sleep, and then we had to come save you.
It happens. It happens. Thank God you came save me, right?
Kind of.
Well, listen, me, Rachel, and Denali needed saving.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So get one of these so you don't end up like me, Rachel, and Denali stranded in the mountains with no cell service, 10 miles away from any service. And it was a you-know-what show, right?
Yes.
Yes. Whatever.
Yes.
You enjoyed it. You enjoyed it.
No. At
All
least I got to play Animal Crossing.
Yeah, see? So what are you complaining about? You got to sit and play Animal Crossing in the back. At like 10 o'clock at night.
Yep.
While we were stressed out.
Yep. I was just vibing.
Yeah, you were vibing?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Everybody, she was vibing.
Yes.
Yes, okay. My life. So, next. Always have knives with you. Now, I go a little bit extreme, okay, because I'm a bushcrafter. This is a Mora companion blade. I love this. This is my baby. But once again, bring pocket knives and things like that. McKenna's pocket knife got taken away. So, she's like, yep. So, always have some kind of blade on you. Once again, they come in handy. You never know when you need to cut something and things like that. Dude, Keith, she always kills me. She kills me all the time. She roasts her dad. I mean, look, she roasts me all the time. This is why I roast other people, because I get roasted by my own kids. So, so you gotta love it. That's why I love her. That's why I love her. She's mini me. That's all I could say. So, and as we were saying, once again, knives are important. Bring a blade. Extra batteries are important. Okay, so there's all sorts of batteries in here. Keep them in a watertight bag, a Ziploc bag, a dry bag. I carry dry bags with me. Highly recommend having a dry bag with you. You never know when your stuff gets wet. You need to put your stuff in there. It'll stay dry no matter what. Especially one thing people don't think about. We start sweating really bad, right, when we're out in the trail. Our back ends up making the inside of our pack soaking wet. There's so many times that I've taken off my backpack and I'm sweating like nobody's business. And the stuff inside my pack is soaking wet because I'm drenched with sweat. So get some dry bags and guess what? That solves that problem if you sweat a lot like me. What, McKenna? What? You don't sweat?
Not really.
What do I say about that? Next, one thing that I always carry a lighter with you, okay? Now, this lighter, I have duct tape around it, or Gorilla Tape. One thing I do with all my lighters is I take duct tape or Gorilla Tape and I wrap a bunch around it. That way, I can use, if I need duct tape at any point in time, which actually we recently had to use when Rachel and I went on a hike, the snowshoe fell apart, and I had to duct tape the back of her snowshoe. And the zip ties are great. We carry zip ties. The problem with zip ties in the cold is once they get really cold they break. We'll get to rain gear in a second, Will. So, oh wait, this is a little hack, okay? Put duct tape around a lighter. You always have tape on you. And that's one thing. You don't have to carry a whole roll, and it saves space, okay? And blister tape. But you know what? Duct tape and Gorilla Tape work great for blister tape also. I've had to do it, and it works amazing. So those are the things. But blister tape I have inside my first aid kit, okay? Which I'll unpack the first aid kit one day, like I say, when we have more time. One other thing I always bring is a tarp and a shelter, all right? I always bring a tarp or a shelter. You never know what, as Will says, rain gear. Well, you never know what's going to rain. You never know what's going to happen out in the woods. So one thing I always bring is rain gear. Here's my rain jacket, poncho. You can get a cheap poncho for like $5 and it'll do the job. You know what I mean? It does exactly what you need it to do if it starts to downpour. I have more expensive rain gear from EMS, Eastern Mountain Sports. You know, this is about $80 for this jacket. Highly recommend it though. Once again, it's waterproof. I never get wet. And I mean, it's warm, but it vents. So you don't really get hot in it either because it vents. Space blankets are amazing. Go ahead.
I wish we had rain gear on the hike in Scouts.
Do you want to tell that story?
Sure. So we were in the woods and it was downpour. It started downpouring. And my mom was with me, so my dad wasn't there. So we didn't know what to do. Then we got lost, okay? It took us like 2 or 3 hours to get back. We were all starving. No one had food. So someone had a pack of M&Ms. So we had one each. And me and my friends were just laughing about it, trying to like stay like entertained. And it was funny. But when we got back, we were soaked. So, yeah. We were not happy about that.
I wasn't there, so it's okay. I'm okay. I was dry. I was nice and dry. You guys were soaked and complaining. But rain gear, always carry rain gear. And what the cool thing about rain gear is it packs down super light. If you don't want to bring rain gear in your pack when you're only doing a quick day hike, if you just get, once again, a cheap poncho, slide it in your pack, just keep it in the package, is, you know, a one and done type situation, that'll at least alleviate some of the miserableness of being soaking wet. And they pack down nice and easy. So if you want to go out and spend money, like I always suggest, I got rain pants and I got rain jacket. But once again, I only really bring that stuff if I check the weather and it's kind of questionable. But when you're in the mountains, everybody, when you're in the mountains, remember, you can't go by a weather forecast when you're in the mountains. They'll say it'll be sunny, and next thing you know, you get poured on. So you always have to be prepared if you're heading to the mountains. But if you're hiking local, your local trails and things like that, it's pretty accurate that you won't get poured on if it says it's not going to pour. So just pack accordingly. But always just buy a cheap poncho. They work wonders. I've used them before. McKenna uses one. And it works fine, especially for kids. It seems to work fine anyway. And half the time, the kids don't mind getting wet anyway.
Yeah.
You play in the puddles and all that stuff.
Dude, literally, we went on a hike with my grandma, and she was like, "Don't step in the mud." And I was like, "Wait, I'm stepping in mud?" And I looked down, and I'm stepping in mud. And I was like, "Okay, well, I don't care."
Okay, but why do we step in mud though? Why is it better to step in the mud?
Because why not?
There's a reason though. Why do we go through why do we go through the mud in the trails?
Because why not?
Because of erosion, right?
Kind of, yeah.
We don't want to make the trails bigger, so what do?
Go in the mud.
So your parents can't get mad at you then, so because you're in the mud and doing the right thing, right?
Yes.
So
but then obviously my sister was there, so she was being a lot dramatic by telling me to get out of the mud.
Yeah, but she's dramatic anyway.
Yeah.
But you're doing
I literally told her to stop being dramatic, and she's like, "I'm not
dramatic." She's always dramatic. Well, you did the right thing. You did the right thing.
Yes.
Because we don't want to widen the trails, as Mike said. We want to stay and we don't want to keep the erosion down to a minimal. Okay, so stay in the middles of the trails. That's why when me and you go hiking, what do? We walk down the middle of the trail, right? We're not going in the woods and all the way around. Okay, make mud tracks. You know, have fun with it. That's a one time. Now it can be miserable after a while when you start getting blisters because now your waterproof boots are no longer waterproof boots. But in the same sense, it's part of the experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So as we were saying before, so I'm trying to move on because I'm not gonna be able to show everything because internet and everything's going crazy. Fire tinder. I always bring fire tinder with me. All right. So as you have a lighter, I always bring fire tinder. You never know in a survival situation where you have to have fire. You just don't know what's going to happen.
You can also
Go ahead.
you can also use birch bark as fire tinder.
100%. And what do we do all year round?
We gather it, so then like if we are in the woods, we just use it for fire.
Yep. And we dry it out, right?
Yes.
So we put it in the shed and dry it out for the whole year. So perfect. And that comes from McKenna. One thing that we do is we do use birch bark tinder. Birch bark has a lot of oils in the bark itself, and it's perfect for any kind of fire starting material. It can even be wet, damp, and it'll still light because of those oils that are in there. Yes, dryer lint made into balls. That's exactly what I have in here is dryer lint. Okay, I have a bunch of it. Lights up fast and goes. So if you have dryer lint, just put it in a bag like I do, bring it in there. Okay, I have a flint and steel in here. I also have waterproof matches in here in the little container. That case also could be used for multiple different things if you have to keep something dry. So we have that. Paracord. Okay, paracord is super important to have, a good thing to have. Paracord has a million different usages. Okay, there's a bunch of different ones. I have this one. These are actually McKenna's from Scout Camp. So McKenna has a bunch she was tying knots with. There's a bunch of knots in hers because she was learning to tie knots. But once again, paracord, it's good for everything. So always have it with you. You never know when you need rope. You can tie things down for shelter purposes, things like that. Keith, the bow stick and bow drill. I have not learned to do that yet. It's been on my agenda forever. My buddy Will, can you do that? Is that something you can do? We'll see if he answers that. I haven't done that, but it's something I definitely want to learn. I've looked at it a couple times, and every time I get the idea to do it, I kind of lose interest in it, and it's like, I'm going to, use flint and steel or matches or a lighter. That's why I always carry a lighter. I mean, as much as we want to have all those survival skills, which are great to learn, bow drilling is an amazing skill to learn for day hikes and things like that, or going backpacking trips. Having a lighter, flint and steel, it's always kind of been the way I go. All right, black fly season and bug season, as we were saying earlier. What's that?
It's my LED light. It keeps on falling. All right, there we go.
But flint and steel. All right, no, we're going. Bug season. Bug season is here. Okay, ticks are already out. I use permethrin. Okay, so permethrin spray. All right, you get a big bottle. You can get this at Walmart. I think it's like $10. Spray all your clothes down with this stuff. Next thing you know, any kind of hiking clothes, just spray them down. And then just use them for just hiking. Okay, it is waterproof. Once it dries on there, it lasts about 4 to 5 times. So you can use those out in the woods 4 or 5 times. Ticks don't come near you. I do it on my boots. I do it on my pants. I do it on my shirts. Anything I use, I put it all over my backpack. Try to keep those ticks away. Okay, it does work wonders. Regular deep woods bug spray. Always have a bottle on you at all points in time. I carry that in my pack. I don't have any here right now because I got to buy. It's on my list to buy more from last year. One thing I did buy, Adirondack people, black fly season, okay, is here. Get a bug head net. One of these head nets. I see people wearing them. I used to laugh at them. But let me tell you, black fly and mosquito season is awful. Put one of these on your head, and then you're good to go. You don't have to worry about them getting in your eyes. More about the eyes. Always wear eye protection, okay? You always see me living in sunglasses. These are prescription, though, because I wear glasses. So these are prescription Oakley sunglasses. But I always wear glasses at all points in time. You don't want those little gnat bugs getting into your eyes. Yeah, gnats, exactly, Will. Gnats are awful. You get one in your eye when you're hiking, your whole eye swells up. And then once again, it's hard to, you're not comfortable. You wipe your eyes. You got bug spray all over your face. Your eyes start burning. Keep those glasses on at all points in time. Or if you get a stick in the eye and fling back, all right? Those things happen. Those things happen more than they should on the trail. I carry a multi-tool, okay? So a good multi-tool. This weighs a ton. So if you're going by weight, these suck because they weigh a lot. But it's good for everything. You name it. If you have anything that you need done, snowshoes, has some nice pliers, things like that, you at least have a good multi-tool. Spend a little bit of money on them. You'll have it forever. You know what I mean? Or a Leatherman or things like that. One thing I like to carry and put on my kids' packs are when Rach and I are out in the woods or whatever we're doing, is these green lights and red lights, whoever I'm hiking with. You clip these on the back of their packs, okay? So that way, when it's dark out, because I do a lot of night hiking, especially being a Bigfooter, I'm out in the dark woods at nighttime all the time. But when we're hiking and we start getting into the night hours, because we're not back to the car yet, I like to have these up on their packs. So that way I can see them from behind them, because I'm usually in the back and they're in front of me, and I can watch the situation. But you can always see where they are, okay? I have one on my pack. I put one on their pack. These things only, you have one too. They only cost $2. That's it, $2. But that's $2 of something that, you know what, it could save you. And it helps the other person you're with see you while you're behind them when it gets dark. Okay, that's important. It's because you never know what can happen while you're out on the trail. You just don't. So you can't have enough lights. These are becoming obsolete, but you still have a lot of these shopping bags, because in New York we can't have them anymore. But if you don't have these shopping bags, I bought, buy some this little garbage bags and keep them in. Garbage bags are great for everything, waterproofing everything. If you want to make a dry pack, if it starts raining, put a garbage bag over your backpack, rip holes in the back to put the straps through. You now have a dry pack. You don't have to spend the money. I spent the money and bought a dry pack. So this dry pack, see, as I keep it in a Ziploc bag, because I can shrink it down. It's compressed. I put this over my backpack when it rains and it stays dry. $2 for peace of mind. Exactly, Angela. That's the best thing, to say. And these are the cheap little hacks that you don't need to spend a lot of money on, when you're on. So $2, one of those little lights. Perfect. Dry pack, or use a garbage bag for when it rains and put your pack right into it. Once again, your stuff stays dry. Contractor bags. You put 2 of those in your pack and you're set to go. You have a dry bag for inside your backpack. Then if it starts raining, put it over your backpack. Just take your straps, rip the straps through the other side, and it stays right on there. And now your stuff stays dry. You have that. Once again, more bags. Water filtration. I always carry water filtration with me. Now, if you're on the trail and you're only doing an easy day hike and you're not going far, you don't need water filtration. It's not a big deal. I use the Sawyer squeeze bottle ones, okay? These connect to water bottles. So if you have just a regular, water bottle that you buy at the store, like a Saratoga water or something, you screw this on that, okay? You can put the bottle in the stream, screw this on top of it, and just sip from it that way. That easy. It filters out everything. It's great, easy to pack. Once again, signal mirrors, great. If you're, once again, out there, it's just a mirror and you can signal people and blind people in their face. With that, you could probably start a fire with them. The Life Straw is a good one too, okay? The Life Straw, you can buy that. Compact, very easy. The only thing I like about these a little bit better than the Life Straws, because I do have a Life Straw, you can use these a bunch of times and they're self-cleaning. So what happens is after you're done, you just backwash it. So you fill the bottle up and backwash the filters, and then they clean right out. So then you can use these things 100, 200 times before you really have to get a new one. Life Straws, once again, if you're only a quick, simple, one-time trip type things, they're cheap and they work well. So depends on, there's all these different, we live in the time of gear. You can buy so much gear, REI, EMS, Sierra Trading Post, Dick's Sporting Goods, Field and Stream, Cabela's. Oh my God, those are all amazing places. I just drop stuff. Glow sticks, chem lights, okay? I always keep glow sticks and chem lights in my pack. I always carry 2 or 3 of them, slide them in. You never know when, once again, you need lighting. You just need to see somebody in front of you. You need any kind of glow, whatever. They're dirt cheap and they will save you, and you have them. Okay, so you can mark things with them. There's a lot of different things you can do with a chem light. Bungees. Okay, I'm really into these small bungee cords. Once again, they're lightweight. You can, if you need to strap stuff around your pack, so say like your pack broke, your rucksack broke, I can now fix the straps with them. Once again, it's good for strap fixing, all sorts of in fixing stuff to the pack itself. Bungee cords, these cost, I got a whole pack of them. They're like $3. So good night, Alfred. Thank you for stopping by. Sorry about the Wi-Fi. So these are great to carry. Great to carry, right, McKenna? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So with that, so those are like just the top of like, kind of what to bring. Just on a simple day hike. All right. White glows, backup lights. Yes, and that's perfect when we're talking about white glow. White lights, if you can get them, are the best. You mean one is none, two is one. Follow that rule, and you'll be okay as far as having stuff. Now, McKenna, you need different stuff in the woods. So I kind of talked about your dad stuff in case to save you, so I can save you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And make you comfortable as much as I can if something happens.
Yep.
But tell Hiker Nation what you, as a kid, like what do you need in the woods that's different?
Okay, so for me, I need my Nintendo Switch. For like the car, when you're driving there, I usually just sit there and play Animal Crossing because why not? Okay, and then I usually need what's the thing called? Yeah, obviously I need my phone for that for when I walk and stuff. Yeah. Yep.
So for you, electronics really drive you, right?
Yeah.
So what about we just did that Pine Bush Preserve app, like we got that app, remember? We took that Zoom
iNaturalist?
class. Yeah, iNaturalist.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them just real quick how we downloaded that app and took that class?
Yeah, so we downloaded an app called iNaturalist. Basically you take photos of stuff and then it will basically identify it for you, or then other people can identify it for you. And it's really helpful, except I haven't used it yet. So, yeah.
I don't know if I have my phone. But yeah, so iNaturalist is something that maybe you can do with your kids, even yourself. And it's really cool. We actually took a class on it. And what it is National Geographic and I think one of the California Science Centers have come together, and you're actually a citizen scientist when you use this application. So as you go into the woods, you take pictures of things, okay? The pictures then bring up on the phone what you may be taking a picture of, what species of plant, flower, bird, everything. Well, that then data is linked to whatever project you're doing. So we do what's called the Pine Bush Project. And so when we submit those data points, if we took a picture of like an owl or a hummingbird or a plant species, it then gets put into that project. So the research biologists on that location can follow what's going on with these plants or what's going on with these animals. So it's actually helping them be out in the field because they can't all be out in the field at all points in time. So as citizen scientists, we're helping them do this stuff. So you can do that with your child. You go out, have them snap pictures, have them see and learn what they're looking at. Invasive species are all over the place, like bittersweet and things like that. And I think buck cherry, I think it was called, or buckvine, and buckvine. And once again, it tells these areas that, listen, there's this is a big problem. We have to try to go out and do some either brush burning or things like that, or removal. So get those kind of things. You know what I mean? Get those apps, because the kids enjoy them. I personally enjoy them also. And you're actually doing something for the world if you're into environmental stuff, because they're going to start looking at this for, if climate change reasons and things like that. Whatever your take is on that, this isn't a debate on that, but they're going to look at this type of data. And once they look at the data and see what's happening with the migration patterns of things, with plants the plants and what plants are taking over, what plants are disappearing, what times of year are these things blooming. I mean, right now, a lot of things are blooming earlier now, like almost a month earlier, because once again, with things like that. So it's something cool to have. What do you think, McKenna?
Yeah.
All right, before we end the show, is there anything else do you have to bring while hiking?
Not really. I don't have a lot of stuff to bring because yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then, Keith, I agree. And we'll end on this because it's just good stuff. Keith brought up fishing line. Fishing line is great to have. It really is. Fishing line is good for shelters. It's good to tie things down. It's lightweight. It's thin, things like that. So once again, it's a good thing to bring if you need, especially for an emergency shelter. Totally is, and totally agree. All right, McKenna, we're done here. Hiker Nation, thank you for bearing with us through all the internet problems. We apologize. Fortunately, we don't control the interwebs, our Spectrum cable. But is there anything else you want to end on before we leave, McWildly?
Oh, with the plastic bags, like the grocery plastic bags, you can also put trash in it if you find any in the woods.
Perfect.
Use
And we
that.
did that today, right?
Yeah.
While we're fishing.
Mhm.
So one thing to really get involved and get your children involved, which I've done with McKenna and my other daughter, who doesn't really go in the woods with us anymore, but we pick up trash, right? That's one thing that we do enjoy, is picking up, and I hate to say it like that, picking up other people's trash, but it makes you feel good that you're once again cleaning up the environment in a way that people just don't care about it.
Yeah.
We are the ambassadors to the environment, right? So it's our job to take care of the woods, right, McKenna?
Yeah.
Because no one else will. All right. Any last words? Do you want to say, everybody? Bye or anything, or any word of advice?
Words of advice.
Words of advice.
Yep.
All right, everyone. We'll be back with another subject matter. But
Yes.
we hope you enjoyed our first show. Sorry for the glitches once again. And as always, I can't say keep it squatchy. Oh my God. But we can say this. We will see you from the trail.
See you.
Deuces, everyone.
Deuces.